Hello guys, welcome to Creators Classroom YouTube channel. What if I told you that the difference between a mediocre AI response and an expert level response often comes down to a single thing, that is your prompt. So in this video, we are going behind theory and diving into practical prompt engineering using Hugging Face transformers in Google Colab. I will show how to download and run a language model and then demonstrate some of the most important prompting techniques used in modern AI. We will cover zero-shot prompting, few-shot prompting, chain of thought prompting, role prompting and template prompting with real examples and outputs. So whether you are a student, researcher, biologist or AI enthusiast, this hands-on tutorial will help you unlock better performance from large language models. So let's get started.
First of all, I will introduce you to the Google Collaboratory. What is Google Collaboratory? Okay, so Google Collaboratory is a IDE. Okay, it's a interactive. It will provide IDE means something like interactive development platform. Okay, like VS Code is there. Okay, VS Code is for running the codes in local system. Okay, then like R Studio is there. There also you can run. Then Jupyter Notebook is there. There also you can run codes. So likewise, Google Collaborator is there, but this is a cloud platform. Means whatever the computational power, computational infrastructure required for running these codes, it will use the cloud. Google's cloud means Google, they are having supercomputers, many super very big computers, and from here we are connecting to the Google computer. So this is called as cloud computation. Okay, cloud computation. And ideally collaborate, Google Collaborate, it can run both Python and the R. For example, if I go here, I can connect. It is getting connected now. So all these codes are by default, you can run the Python codes only. So you can connect here. I will show all these things first. Okay, you will please look into my terminal. I will share these notebooks to you. Then you can upload into your system and you can use it. Okay. So immediately after opening this Google Collaboratory, what you have to do is you go to this button and connect. You need to connect to a host. Host means those Google computers. Okay. So if it shows right tick mark, then RAM disk. Okay, that means your computer is connected to the cloud. Okay, it's connected to the cloud. Then here there are two types of cells are there. One is for the text. Okay, so you can see here this is a text, and here also some text is there, followed by it is a code. Okay, so this is the code, these are the codes. Okay, this is a code. So wherever the codes are there, some play button will there. Okay, if you click on it, this code will execute. Okay, but you can't play these text, that means you can't run the text. Okay, so now what we'll do is we will adapt the model by using prompt engineering now. Okay, so we will install some of the libraries. Okay, libraries required for this purpose. So one is the transformers. Transformer means I was saying no, Hugging Face. I was showing you the Hugging Face. From there transformer models were there. Okay, so using this transformer library, we can import all the models present in the Hugging Face. Okay, then there is a accelerate. Okay, again this accelerate is a library developed by Hugging Face for optimizing training process. Okay, means sometimes this Google provide free GPUs, but sometimes Google will not provide the GPU, because if so many users across the world, all of them they log in at once to the Google Collaboratory, then they may not provide you GPU, because the GPU numbers are limited in the world. Okay, so what it will do is it will allot you the CPU. Okay, so if the Google allot you CPU or lower version of GPU, in order to adjust the speed of training process or speed of operation, this accelerate is a Python library. It will adjust the speed by itself. Okay, then comes the sentence piece. So it is used for tokenization. Okay, sentence piece is a Python library used for tokenization. So what is tokenization? So given a prompt, the number of words are converted into the tokens. Okay, I told you know in the beginning, each if a word is very big, it can be broken down into two or three tokens. Okay. So now after that, what we'll do is we will import PyTorch. I think you might have undergone some classes on PyTorch also. Okay, PyTorch are required for like any deep learning purpose. Okay, any deep learning task, you have to depend on two libraries. One is PyTorch, and another one is the TensorFlow. Okay, there are two libraries for deep learning work. Okay, one is PyTorch and another one is the TensorFlow. Usually the TensorFlow is used for industrial purpose, but for the research purpose, the all over the world all the researcher we use these torch. Okay, so now we will import torch, and also from the transformer library we will import this model. Okay, this is a model T5. I told you know in the beginning, T5 is a translational, means to perform the translation. Okay, so we use the T5, and also it can be used for some different purposes. Okay, and also we have T5 tokenizer, means sentence piece I shown. Sentence piece is a general purpose tokenizer, but sometimes each of these models they will be having their own tokenizer. Okay, so this is a model and this is the token. Okay, so now we will import this. Okay, we'll import torch. So if I click this button, now it is showing running. No, so it is running. Okay, and also you can see in the bottom right corner, you can see executing 13 14, means that is a time. Okay, so how much time it has taken? It has taken 17 seconds. Okay, so we have imported PyTorch. Also we have imported this model from the Hugging Face. Okay, and we have also connected CPU. Okay, we have connected to the CPU. So for example, we have to change the runtime. So we will connect it to the T4 GPU. Okay, why GPU are required? I told you in the beginning, for operation, means for operation on the large language model. To run the large language model for fine tuning, you need to have a GPU. Now see, your CPU will not work. Okay, so I am changing the run type, so it is getting connected. Usually it will take some 10 to 20 seconds. It depends on number of users all over the world. Now it is connected. So now what we'll do is we'll import the libraries again. See, once the run types are changed in the collaboratory, we have to run it again. Okay, so now we are installing all the models: transformer, accelerator, and sentence piece. It will take only, it has taken 9 seconds. Now after that we are importing PyTorch modules, and also we are importing transformers. Okay, now we are printing the type of device which we are using. Okay, you can see earlier it was taken 17 seconds now. So by 17 seconds this code will run. It is fetching the information of RAM also, that's why it is taking some time. Okay, now it is using the GPU of Tesla. Okay, Tesla company is also they are producing GPUs, but the card is from same company. The yes, the chip is from same company, but they are using same company's chip, and they are marketing it as their company's GPU cards. Okay, the RAM is 16 GB. Okay, the RAM is 16 GB. So now what we do is we will load the model. So which model we are using? T5 model, Flan T5. Okay, you can search this. I am copying this model name, Control C. Then I am going to Hugging Face, and there also you can search it whether this uh, model is present or not. So Hugging Face. So Flan F5 base. Yeah, it is there. See, Google they have made this Flan T5s, and they are providing free of cost. Okay, free of cost. And what is the model size? Here it is, 540 billion, something. It's a very big model, I think. You can go through later. Okay. So now it is imported. See, 22 seconds it has taken. So it has downloaded. It has imported the Flan T5 model. And how many number of parameters are there? 248 million. 2248 million. This is actually a huge number again. So 248 million model is downloaded. Okay. And it is very difficult to handle this model in your local computer, because our local my lap I'm using a laptop now, and in my laptop GPU card is not there. Okay. So this Google, they have by free of cost they have provided me the 16 GB GPU. Okay. So that's why I'm able to handle it. So now what we'll do is we'll develop some helper functions. So usually in the Python, developing helper functions are very important for OOP programming. OOP stands for object oriented programming. Okay, so there we use classes and classes and definitions. Okay, so these definitions called as functions. Okay, the definitions DEF stands for functions. Okay, so here we are creating some functions. Okay, I have created some functions, and our main purpose here is to understand prompt engineering and the fine tuning. Okay, our purpose is not Python programming, so that's why I am skipping a walkthrough on these code. Okay, so simply I have created a token. Now what we'll do is we'll perform zero shot prompting. Okay, so what is zero shot prompting? Simply, see, I told you, without giving any context, without giving any example, directly I will ask a model for some output. Okay, so here the model I'm using is T5 model, and the purpose is sentiment classification. Okay, zero shots sentiment classification. Okay, so what is my prompt? So the my prompt is, the new agricultural policy has greatly improved crop yield this season. Okay, this is my prompt. Okay, now this is a generator function. Okay, generator function which we have developed here. Okay, you can see here there is a function called as generator we have developed here. And the prompt, what is prompt here? This prompt, no, we are here, we have assigned, no, this prompt. Okay, so this is this prompt will go here. Okay, and in the prompt I have given this is one more important thing you need to understand. So in the prompt usually two components are there. The first component is instruction, then the second component is actual prompt. Okay, so usually the instructions are mentioned in the quotes. So here double quotes are there. Okay, so double quotes nothing but a double quote nothing but it's a instruction we are giving, and within that there is a prompt. Okay, so within the double quotes there is a sentence which is our prompt. Okay, and we are feeding it to the generator function. So now we will click on it. Okay, now we are actually running the model by our own. We are not depending on ChatGPT, we are not depending on Anthropic. Okay, we are running a large language model by our own. Okay, see, what is the model output? Negative. What was the sentence? The new agriculture policy has greatly improved crop yields this season. Okay, this was supposed to be a positive. No, this is a positive sentence. The emotion of this is positive, but the model predicted as negative. That means zero shot prompting is bad always. Always you need to give an example. Okay, so now we will see one more example of zero shot, that is question answering. Okay, so the in the prompt there is a instruction, that is the instruction is answer the following question. This is a instruction. And what is the prompt? What is the role of attention mechanism in transfer models? Okay, just now theory we have seen, and this is a quiz. Now I'm asking a question and the model has to. So the model has outputted reversing time. Okay, means this is a very vague answer. What the model has understood is transformer means some cartoon movies will come now, some Hollywood cartoon movies, transformers. So the role of transformer is, it is saying reversing time. It is no way related to our context. Our context, what context we are talking is attention, that is deep learning transformer, but this has understood something else. Okay, so this is why the zero shot prompting are bad. We'll see one more example on text summarization. Okay, what we do is text summary. This is a text, okay, very big text, and we have to summarize. Okay, so what model printed is this much. Okay, transformer, this is summarization. It was summarized a big sentence. Okay, but usually you remember one thing, zero shot prompting are bad. Okay, now we'll proceed for few shot prompting. What is few shot prompting? We will give some example. Okay, so example in a dictionary. Okay, in the Python, usually we call it as dictionaries. Input and output. There will be input and immediately there will be output. Okay, means example. You can see here, for example, to the same model, I am giving some example. Okay, so the example is the harvest was excellent this year and the sentiment is positive. Okay, I'm already saying the model that the sentence is harvest was excellent this year and this is a positive sentiment. Okay, positive. Then the next example I am giving is the draft destroyed most of the wheat crop. It's a negative, no, it's a negative sentiment. Okay, the next is the research paper was published in last month. So is it a positive or negative? It's something like a neutral sentiment. Okay, now I am asking the prompt again. Okay, I am giving the prompt again. The new irrigation system has failed to deliver expected result and it has to predict the sentiment. Okay, what is the task of model now? It has to predict the sentiment. And what is the input? The new irrigation system has failed to deliver expected result, and we have given three examples with the output. Let's see what it will going to predict. See the model output. The model has predicted negative. That means the new irrigation system has failed to deliver expected result is a negative sentiment. And previously, when we given a model some prompt and it has predicted it wrongly, okay, the wrong sentiment. Now the model is with the help of examples, the model has given us the right sentiment. Okay, the right sentiment here is negative. Yes, very good. So now we'll go for entity extraction. Okay, so this is one of the very important topic in this AI these days. Okay, that is called as named entity extraction. NEE, named entity extraction. What are entity? For example, see this. Farmers in Punjab are growing new variety of wheat. Okay, means here the entity is crops. Basically, means in this particular example, the entity is a crop. Okay, so in this sentence, which is the crop mentioned here? Wheat, no? What is the entity? Wheat. Suppose in this sentence, the paddy fields were flooded due to heavy rainfall. Okay, so in this sentence, the entity is paddy. Okay, now I am giving the model one task, that is, there is a sentence called the scientists at ICR developed a disease resistance variety of chickpea. Okay, chickpea we know, no? Okay. Now I am going to ask the model extract a entity that is crop. Okay, the model has to extract a entity which is a crop in this sentence. Okay, so we know that chickpea is a entity, we know it. Okay, but now we are making the model to understand. No, we have to check. Okay, now we are checking. Okay, see the beauty. The model has predicted output. Okay, as chickpea means the prediction is very good. Okay, the prediction is very good. The model has predicted the right entity. See, sometimes we often underestimate the power of prompt engineering. Okay, the quality of your prompt explains you the quality of your output. Okay, so mainly now how I am going to use generative AI is for programming. I am not a programmer. Okay, I am basically a animal geneticist. Okay, I am a scientist who has qualified in animal genetics and breeding. I don't know programming, nowhere I have studied, but I need to program for my work. Okay, and I have dependent on generative AI for generating the codes, for developing the codes. So I have to be giving very good prompts. Okay, with few shots and zero shots, sorry, with few shots and examples. So now we'll compare the results of zero shots and few shots. Okay, so we are comparing zero shot. Zero shot means no example we have given, straight away we are asking the model. Few shots means we have given some examples to the model. Okay, so you will compare simply. the zero task, the question is, in the zero task, the prompt is classify whether this sentence is about machine learning. Okay, means what is the task? Classify whether this sentence is about machine learning or agriculture. Okay, this is an instruction. And what is the task? Okay, task is here. Okay, you can see task. This is called as f string in Python. Some concept will come called as f string. F string, you can see this. Huh. F string, formatted string literal, a concise, efficient way to embed expressions and variables directly into a string literals in Python. What does it mean? Is, see, this is an instruction, or this is a very big variable in the Python I have written, and I have to efficiently embed my task. Okay, so what is the task I have given? Okay, the task says the model overfitted on the training data. Okay, so see, this is a task, and we know that this is something related to machine learning. This is not something related to agriculture generally, right? Now we will see whether zero shot answering will predict whether it is machine learning or agriculture. And also in the few short we are giving some example. Okay, the example is the gradient descent algorithm covered after 100 approach. So yes, it is something related to machine learning. The category is machine learning. The next sentence is the soil pH needs to be adjusted for better yield. Yes, it is something related to agriculture. The next sentence is the neural networks has 12 transformer layer. That means just now we saw transformers. No, that is something related to machine learning. And after that we are giving the task. So what is the task? The task is the model overfitted the training data. And what is the instruction? It needs to classify whether it is something related to machine learning or the agriculture. Okay, I will run this. Okay, it has run. Okay, now see, both of them they have predicted good. Okay, because what was the instruction? The model overfitted on the training data. Okay, this is universally known, no? Universally known to everyone. So that's why even without giving the example, you have got some good output. Okay, but usually you have to give some examples, then then you have to run the model. Okay, now comes chain of thoughts. Chain of thoughts is basically used in the mathematics. Okay, here the prompt is very simple. What is the prompt? A farmer has 120 kg of seeds. Okay, he plants 40% of those seeds. Okay, he plants 40% in the first field and 25% in the second field. He is having two field. Okay, two pieces of land. In first land he uses 40% of the seeds, and in the second he uses 25% of the seeds. And the answer question is how many kgs of seeds are left. So this is a mathematical question. So now we will use the standard prompt. Standard prompt means we are not going to ask think step by step. Okay, simply we'll ask the prompt. Definitely it has to give some answer. So see, it has given some answer. Okay, but now what we do is we are giving something called as chain of thoughts prompt. Okay, so this is a prompt which is going to trick, okay, which is going to trigger the model to use chain of thoughts. So this is a trigger. Okay, trigger, trigger. So if I run this, okay, see, it is thinking logically. In the first field there were 120 divided by 40, 100 kg, 80 kg of seeds. In the second field 120 divided by 20, 75 kg of seeds. So thus there are 120 minus 80 plus 75 into 100. So 125 kg seeds are remaining. So the answer is 125. Means I think it is very wrong, because this T5 model is not built for mathematics. Okay, the T5 model is not a general purpose model. It is built for translation purpose. Okay, so that's why it has given the wrong. But my intention here was to show you how to trigger the model to use chain of thought. Okay, to use chain of thought. So you just need to add this triggering point, triggering word, that is let think step by step. For example, if you are using the chat GPT, you give any prompt and at the end you say think in a step by step way, step by step manner. Okay, this is a triggering prompt. Okay, this is a triggering prompt for your actual prompt. So this is about chain of thought. Then we will quickly see one role prompting. I told you role prompting. Okay, so we will define three roles. Okay, and this is very interesting. Okay, you just see this magic. Okay, very interesting. So the role one is agricultural scientist. Okay, I am asking a model to behave like an agricultural scientist, and in the role 2 I am acting a model to behave like a data scientist, and in the role 3 I will ask the model to behave like a farmer. Okay, so now I'll run this and I'll ask the question. What is the question? What are the main causes of low crop yield? Okay, the question is simple. The question is simple. I will ask this question, the what are the main causes of low crop yield, to a agricultural scientist. I will ask the same question to a data scientist, then I will ask the same question to a farmer, and see how they behave. As a agricultural scientist, the model predicted as the reason for low crop yield are droughts and flooding. Okay, the droughts and flooding are the main reason for reduced crop crop yield. Then the data scientist is also basically a scientist. He will think in something related to the bigger picture, like statistics, climate. Okay, so the model printed droughts and climate change. And what farmer they will think, the model as a farmer, it has predicted lack of fertilizers and pesticides. Usually the farmer will think in that way only ना, अरे मुझे फर्टिलाइजर नहीं मिला, पेस्टिसाइड्स नहीं मिला, इसलिए आज का ये सीजन का क्रॉप yield कम हुआ. देखो, we are using the same model, but we are asking the model to behave in a different role, to perform a different role. Okay, so this is how the role playing will work. And now prompt templates means templates, I was saying, no, to make AI as an agent. If you want to use AI as an agent, you need to give the template. So, and these templates are reusable every time. You no need to print very big prompts. Okay, just you need to tell. For example, I am developing a template called as classify text. I am developing a template, or I am developing a prompt engineering as summarize, then translate to simple, then extract keywords. Okay, these are the different types of functions I am creating, or you can simply say different types of prompt engineering. Okay, these are different types of prompt engineering. But every time I will not going to write, okay, I will give you a text and I will give you a category, you please classify these text as these categories. Every time I am not going to write. What I'll write is simply I will use classify text. Okay, I will give you that, give the text, I will simply give the text. Okay, means this is very basic example I am giving. But usually these chat gpt, then anthropic AI, they are using more than like 60,000 of these kind of templates for making AI into agents. Okay, okay, now the templates are defined. We'll quickly go through an example. Okay, so the sample text is transfer learning is a machine learning blah 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 AI application. Okay, this is very some big sentence. Okay, okay, now I'm going to classify. So in the first task, I will use classify text. What the instruction is, the machine learning means the model has to classify the text into either machine learning, or whether it belong to agriculture, or whether this topic is belong to physics or economics. Okay, this is classification. Next, summarize. Okay, means the model has to summarize this text. Next, what I will do is I will ask it for simple explanation. Okay, then what I will ask it for extracting some keywords. Okay, see, yeah, the classification it worked perfectly. That is machine learning. Then summary. What is the summary of this big paragraph? Is like understand transfer learning. Simple explanation, that is something like keyword means, and finally the keywords extraction, that is transfer learn task. Okay, these are the some key thing. So summary. This is the summary of prompt engineering fine tuning. So first thing is we have used the zero shaft Okay, the techniques in prompt engineering is, this is very easy, though the theory behind it is very complex, but using prompt engineering is very easy. Simply you go to ChatGPT for any of your output, any of your task, you can use these things. Okay, zero shot, don't give any contestant example, that is zero shot. Few shot means give on some examples, then ask the model. Chain of thoughts, you say model, think it. Okay, think in a step by step manner, that is a triggering word. Then the role prompting, you say to the model, okay, role, you act as a prime minister of India. Task, what are the strategies to implement for developing India in Amritkal by 2042 47. Okay, so this is how the prompt engineering techniques will work on.